Hey, do you know why I laugh? Well, I'll tell you.
Well, I'm a live to be 105. Well, I might die tomorrow, but life ain't easy like a Sunday morning, so I beg low and I'm borrowed. So if you got maybe a second or two, and you don't have the will to work hard, take a smoke, take whatever to make you cope to get. I'll play well whatever's on your report card. I have the love, I have to laugh.
NeSe Indigenicas Ojibwem Kevin Richard Shores Indigenicas Jaganashi Moog Makwad Nindun Dame Mindawa Nindogichida Gawa Babigani Kagan Dun Chibab Mindawa Moorhead Minnesota Indun Inde Chi mi gwitch, get your man to do. Ha pegish be my disease way we had. Hello, 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 can you go? Hello, can you go? And hi, everybody. Highly evolved entities. Highly aware consciously. Is that universe? Is that me? Do you see what I see? 2 in 1 day. 2 in 1 day. That is today. Did you all get your Trump alert? The presidential alert. Wowzers. Wowzers across the country. The cell phone towers, the Wi-Fi transmission, distraction. So if they can call all of you, niverse, do you think they can also call and shut your phone off? Or turn on your microphone at any time? Or your camera at any time? Could they? Maybe. The government, with their kind of supercomputer, sort of supercomputer, absolutely supercomputer, super duper industrial. Come on. There's some that says that the government actually has technology that is many years advanced than what they share. And I can tell you what, I can tell you that when I was in the military back in 1985, when I joined, and then I got on board a ship, and on board a ship we did radio wave transmission, just like we're doing with the cell phones. We did it. We did it back then. So that was literally 25 years. 25 years ago plus. Well, geez, gotta say 30 years ago now. if you really want to be serious about it. But anyway, don't be surprised. Well, I can't tell you what to be. You be what you want to be. But being surprised will give you mixed emotions. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. But ready or not, you're it. Ollie ollie skin free. So, if you heard me babbling on earlier, we were talking about the whole thing about being here and what is actually being here, and can we actually denote here? Is it almost as impossible as making the denotation of when now is? Because although we may be here in this position, in this spot where you are at this moment, in the greater perspective, the almighty earth is allegedly hurtling through the galaxy. Of course, that is if we are not in a computer simulation, if we are not in some type of tube like on the Matrix, where we're being fed electromagnetic impulses that are stimulating our brain and just giving us the responses and the beliefs that what we are experiencing is in fact what we are experiencing and not some type of avatar. Because they create the words and then they start creating the situations for us to start categorizing us, to start labeling us. Because once we start labeling ourselves and categorizing ourselves, then it's so much easier to divide ourselves. You know, get in touch with the femininity in you, get in touch with the masculinity in you, and how about just get in touch with you first? Get in touch with you first, and then let's go from there. Then check out on the degrees of what? Masculinity or femininity? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to sit there and objectify yourself to your masculinity side and your femininity side? Or do you just want to be you? Is it that simple? Or is it complex? Ken Wielder, simplex. You make the choice. You make the choice of whether keeping it in your heart or keeping it in your head. Because when you continue to go back and forth from your heart to your head, you're going to constantly second guess yourself. So, as we are here pondering and wondering, why is the screen black? Is that what you're pondering? Did you miss it? Did you miss it when I peeked at all of you? When I gave you a little glimpse of my reality? Did you miss that? I don't know, you might have. Or you might not have. I might not have done anything at all to reveal what is here, because I'm not sure what is here, because I might just be a brain in a jar with a bunch of electrodes, and the powers that should not be are keeping me alive to see what I extrapolate. All I know is all I know. And I'll share that experience of that knowledge with you, and hopefully it'll be some wisdom. Because the shared knowledge is what, to shared knowledge is what? If I share you my knowledge of playing on my video game and playing a certain game and making certain points and creating such an avatar, that's a bunch of knowledge, but is that going to assist you, niverse, moving forward in a positive direction? Are you saying that me playing video games makes me a lesser person? No, I'm not saying that. Are you of the want to put yourself on the scales of your video gaming experience? I can judge your actions. I will not judge you for the miracle you are. But if you're spending 20, 30, 40, 50 hours a week, maybe that might be too much gaming. If you're spending that much time binge watching TV, if you're spending, your, our, God, goddesses, aliens, the time that is spent on this fake book, if I could have one accumulated time frame of just all the people in my town. So like if you gathered all the people at this moment in my town that were on Facebook right now and gave me a minute of their attention and physical body to try to get something done, I can't imagine what could be done, but I believe that it would be something that would be highly beneficial to the whole. That is, if absolute power doesn't corrupt absolutely. Because it does. And I would like to think that I, in my proclamation of being a higher consciousness, stupid man, that I would be able to resist the temptation of power. But I've never had superpowers. That's not true. Well, it is true. Well, I cannot confirm nor deny the existence of any superpowers that I may or may not have. Is that the safest way of saying that? Because I am that I am, that I am, that I am Batman. No, I'm just kidding. Bruce Wayne. I'm just kidding. Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, that wasn't a good Arnold. But, so we're here. So are you still here? Are you like, oh my God, this guy's babbling on and Babylon again? But I'm just saying, in an insane world, about being here. From the beginning. When was the beginning? The scientists say it was the Big Bang. The Big Bang. The Big Bang. What's the Big Bang? Is the Big Bang an orgasm? Sorry, children. Are you letting your children listen to me? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess it was during the day. I'm assuming. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I throw out a little stuff in the comedy world they call as blue. To go a little blue or go a little lowbrow. But I apologize if there are children in the room, and get them to bed. Well, that depends. If you're listening to this at a decent time of the day where children should be up. And if it is during the day, why are children home and not at school? Or are you just one of those perfect, absolutely awesome parents that homeschools your kid? Because I'm jealous if you are. Because I would really like to be homeschooling my children. Really, 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 really bad. Really bad. However, yeah. Anyway. So, a long time ago, they claimed there was a Big Bang. And from that Big Bang, a bunch of stuff got blown out into the universe and eventually cooled and this and that. And then galaxies were made, and then solar systems were made. And then in those solar systems, there were little planetoids that were created. And then a sun occurred. And, right? It kind of like hurts your brain if you try to think of like, okay, so there was a big bang, and out of that big bang, there was nothingness, and that nothingness somehow imploded on itself and did a full reversal where there was something within the nothing. And so the nothing spewed out something, and that something spewed out more nothing, and ebb and flow, and here we go, the Holy Trinity for all you to see. And then we have our solar system, the Milky Way, and that is not a candy bar. It was a candy bar after it was named the Milky Way. So the Milky Way is copying the Milky Way. So we have our planets, and we have our sun, our almighty sun, and the scientists, they claim 4 billion years ago, 4 trillion years ago, can you conceptualize $1 million back in 2005? If you had $1 million in the bank and you just had a regular, I can't remember what it is, like 1.8 or 1.9, something like that, % of interest in a savings account, you would be accumulating over $500 a month just on $1 million. Imagine these people that have billions or trillions. How much money are they making for it just sitting there in the bank? Because once you make $1 billion with minimal expenditure, you're doing nothing but just making money by existing. And then you diversify, and oh my gosh, start buying assets, and then turning those assets over. Wow. Money, money, money! Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, there's all these planets here. And then something happened. Something happened. Do you know? Were you there? Were you there when some of this stuff happened? I was. Yeah, seriously, I was there. Not in this exact physical form that I am in right now, but I was there. All the little particulates that make me up, that make you up, they've been there since the beginning in one form or another. Crazy. But what happened? What happened to the solar system? Is there a solar system? Or are we on a disk? Or are we in a laboratory? Or are we in a body field, generated electricity for the machines? I don't know. I just know from my experiences and the books that I've read, and the lectures I've read, and the videos I've seen, when I could see. And then I read stuff like Zacharias Stitchin, because it's like, what's the oldest civilization? Where is the cradle of civilization? Right? And I'm just totally, absolutely... Oh, America Genesis is the book by Jeff Goodman. And he has a great little book, if you can find it. Great read about his belief that when there was a giant landmass, and there was what they call Pangea, that the center of Pangea was America. which is really cool. And he has his references and his sources in the book. But yeah, he goes back into archaeology and finds and digs that contradict what his story of America may very well be. I am absolutely not a strong fan at all, because I could not blow you down, because I am not a fan at all. But when it comes to the Bering Straits theory, the Bering Straits theory is the key word here. Theory. It is a theory. It's not the fact. It is not a fact. It is a theory that has many, many, many holes in it. However, anyway, if you look at some of the works from the cradle of civilization, a lot of them claim in ancient Mesopotamia. But if you go and you look up stuff like forbidden archaeology and archaeological finds that predate man's conception of what is what, you would have to submit that there are many, 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 many artifacts, not only of tools, but artifacts of dwellings, walls, that are incredible. Go and research Rock Wall, Texas. There's a rock wall in Texas that is under a bunch of sand that they believe used to be an ancient port wall when the Gulf of Mexico went all the way into Texas. And the stones in this wall are huge, to where it's one of those things that you scratch your head and go, And you can find these things all over the world. Look at all of the pyramids that they are not talking about. All over the world. Where is the biggest, the most massive pyramid? America. St. Louis. There is a earth pyramid. An earth pyramid in America that is bigger than the pyramids in Giza. So look at Chaco Canyon. Look at the giant rings in Florida. I mean, the history of the winners is doing quite well. And it is extremely hard to find the true history. And so as you do the research, which you should do, don't believe what I'm saying. Find out for yourself. I'm just trying here to spark your imagination, to give you some incentive to be, oh, maybe what they're telling me isn't what they're telling me. Because in my search for the truth, the only truth that I have found out is that I have not been told the truth. And so, am I doing us any justice by regurgitating Yep. Oh my God, did NeSe just have a stroke? No, I had mush mouth. Sometimes my brain starts to going 5 sentences in front of the one that I'm just saying. And so I got to remember to slow down. That's one thing I like about going to the reservation. Oh, it is so wonderful to go to the reservation. Not to see all of the conditions of poverty and the struggles and all of that stuff, but just to see how it's hard to explain. It's just there's a slowness to it, and it's not a bad slowness, but it's comforting. It's kind of relaxing. But yeah. Anyway, what was the word that I screwed up on? Regurgitation. Not bad for a pothead. I cannot confirm nor deny the existence of any potty in my house. I have a bathroom with what some people call a pot, and I got pots and pans. But do I got the cannabis? Yes, I do. I'm actually wearing cannabis right now. I'm wearing my Cannabis Res Solution t-shirt. Would you like one? A Cannabis Res Solution t-shirt? Well, too bad. So sad. No, if you want one, get a hold of me. I'll get you one. I might have to make you pay for it. At least some shipping charges. Yeah. Or how about I make you work for it? If you can send me an email to themegaphoneman, all one word, themegaphoneman@gmail.com, and tell me what the machine was that revolutionized the industrialization of cannabis cultivation. If you can give me that answer, I'll pay for shipping, handling, and give you a free Cannabis Res Solution t-shirt. No fair if you go and look it up, but you will. But will you send me an email? So as I regurgitate all of the stuff that I've read and pondered and arduously sifted through, because I was one of those kids that was constantly like, why, and they really had a challenge with me in Sunday school. Oh boy, did they. Because I just didn't accept it. It's in the Bible. So yeah, that was an interesting time of my life. So I am going to give you my belief, what I think is a simplification of the history of our solar system. And this is from reading and researching the stuff that I've read and researched. And if you want my sources, then send me an email and I'll send you my book list. I'll send you my book list and my video library list. I have tons of videos. But you're blind. Not always. And I'm still not blind. Tee hee. I have second sight. I got amazing powers of observation. Sorry. You can always get me off track with Pink Floyd. So, in the beginning. In a galaxy far, far away from this thought, but closer than you think. A long, long time today. The Milky Way wasn't always a candy bar. It was here on planet Earth. With our incredible solar system, the almighty sun, a gaseous, light illuminating source of energy. And then little Mercury, based upon the Roman gods. Closest to the sun, and next to there is Venus. And of course, here on Aki, Mother Earth. And then we should throw in the moon, just because of how much it affects us here, but there's a lot of planets that have moons and satellites around them. And then we have Mars. Mars, the red planet. Ooh, Martians. Ooh, aliens. Ooh, crossing the border. Build a wall. No. No. If we're going to start getting rid of illegal aliens, I think we need to critically look back at 1492. 1492, when Columbus allegedly discovered America. We should go back then and then get rid of all of the trespassers on this continent and then cleave me in half. Cleave me in half and send that half back to Europe. But let's give the land back to the original owners? Chief Seattle, the earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. How can you own the earth? Is what the native said. The American said, like this, cha-ching. Here's your whiskey and black kettle pot and a rifle with enough gunpowder for 2 shots. But thank you. Sign on the dotted line, please. Oh, what? You can't read English? Oh, that's all right. Just put an X there. X marks the spot. Planet X. X marks the spot. Go, Spot, go. Dick likes to chase Spot. Jane is watching Dick chase Spot. Run, Spot, run. Dick will catch you. Oh no, Dick fell down. Jane, go get Mom. Run, Jane, run. Sorry. Fun with Dick and Jane and their dog Spot. Reading is fundamentally incompetency right here. Ding-a-ding-a-ding. So where are we? Mars. Mars. And then what's next? Anybody know? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? The asteroid belt. The asteroid belt. And then after the asteroid belt is the almighty Jupiter. And then after Jupiter is... Giggle, giggle. Giggle, giggle. What's after Jupiter? Tee-hee-hee-hee. Uranus. 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 Tee-hee-hee. Uranus. Uranus. Alright, stop doing doo-doo. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not my duty to make... Oh, he said duty! Or is it Neptune after Jupiter? Uh-oh. I may be wrong here, ladies and gentlemen, and extraterrestrials. But I do think it's Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune! Neptune. Neptune. Then another big old planet. Big old planet. Saturn. Ooh, creepy Saturn. Ooh, judges. Black robes. Ooh, earrings. Wedding rings. Ring around the collar. Saturn. Chronos. Tick tock tock tick. tick-tock. What? Kronos, Saturn, tick-tock, tick-tock. That don't make no sense. Why do they watch Saturn? Why do they watch Saturn? Watch Saturn, tick-tock, watch Saturn. Kronos. And then after Kronos, who do we have? Oh, you know what I think I did? I screwed up. I think it was Uranus, Saturn, then Neptune. And then Mickey's dog. MICKEYMOUSE. Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. Oh, Donald. Pluto. Pluto! But they're claiming it's not a planet. But I say NeSe. I say nay. I say nay, say I. Pluto is a planetoid, at least. Let's give it that. And then they said there's some stuff beyond Pluto. Of course there is. What is it? I don't know. And the aliens refuse to tell me. So, what happened? Where did this all happen? How did it all happen? The Big Bang. Oh, that's the Big 10-4, Pilgrim. Something went a kabang. So, yeah. But in our solar system, and if we look at some of the oldest works of literature, whether that be in paper, papyrus, with feathers, hemp paper, cannabis paper, or cuneiform tablets, or birch bark scrolls, or the Dead Sea Scrolls. But if you look for the oldest history books, you start getting into the ancient Sumerians, ancient Babylon. Then you come across the book, the Epic of Gilgamesh. And then you start reading the Epic of Gilgamesh, and you find out that what does Gilgamesh mean? The Epic of Gilgamesh. And you find out that Gilgamesh is like a word for meaning like living life or being part of life. And it's like, what? The Epic of life, the Epic of history. A very, very interesting story. But then if you look into these great works of literature and then you see these stories of challenges between families, between gods, and then you find out about the ancient Sumerians and their deities, and you find out that all these deities have a similarity to the planets. And then you find out that the ancient Egyptian deities have a similarity to the planets. And then you find out that the Greeks have a similarity to the planets, and the Romans. But then they said, no. The Roman Church came about. And the Roman Church said, And they held down knowledge. And they held down wisdom. And we went into the dark ages. Just like right now, as you're looking at your cell phone and seeing my darkness. Thank you for being the light. I really enjoy it. Because you burn so bright, and it's such a delight to have you fill up my darkness. So, if you go and look back at these ancient Mesopotamia or ancient Sumerian things, you'll find out this whole story about Anunnaki. And then you look into the Bible, the two elves by Baal, El, Elohim, Bib, El. Anyway, but if you look into the Bible and you look at Genesis, all of a sudden you'll see these same, not absolutely, let me refrain, not the same, but similarities, too coincidental or synchronistically aligned to each other. And you see these same stories over and over again with different words and different titles. Because you can call it love, or you can call it positiveness, or you can call it goodness, or you could call it Jesus, or you could call it the devil, or you could call it negativity, or you can call it bad, or you can call it evil, or we could get caught up on semantics all day. But it's the same damn story over and over and over again. Round and round we go. Where the story stops, nobody knows. But maybe I do not think that I do know something. But the one thing that I do want to share, because everybody keeps saying this stuff, everything's going to get better. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to get better. Yes, at a perspective of which you choose to examine the particulars. Things can be better. But just as quickly, changing the perspective, things are worse. I don't drink sugar. I don't eat sugar. I'm not consuming sugar at this particular time. But I eat a lot of bread. So it's good I don't eat sugar. But it's bad I don't eat bread. I don't drink alcohol. That's good. But I take OxyContins because I'm a druggie. I'm an evil druggie, and the VA is my dealer. And the Department of Defense is my supplier. And the industrial medical complex is hell. And this... Sorry. Got off a little topic there. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm a druggie. I'd rather not be a druggie. I'd rather not be going through withdrawals because I need my fix. I need my fix. So I try to utilize other things to try to take care of my pain management. Yeah, I try to do other things to try to maintain my level of pain to some kind of saneness necessary for me to go about my daily living activities. So as you sit there and ponder about the negativity, the positivity of what the situation may be at this moment, yes, it will get better, but yes, it can get worse. If you don't believe me about how worse it can be, just think about those people in all the concentration camps during World War II. They were praying really hard. They were asking their God to step in and help. Right? And if you really want a big old slap in the head about how bad can things get, you don't have to look very far if you're on the perspective of traveling around the galaxy in your ovis, your Vianus, your sky sleds, your UFOs, because just beyond Mars, what is it again? What's between Mars and Jupiter? The asteroid belt. The asteroid belt is the hemorrhoid of our solar system. For every one comet comet that they, the telescope guys, see 100 have been missed. For every one comet they see, 100 comets were missed. And they're not really meteorites or meteors unless they come into our atmosphere, you know. So, what happened when those asteroids get pushed or pulled this way or that way or bump against the other one? Then one or two things happen. Thank the stars. Thank the planets. Thank the history of our solar system for Jupiter. Look at what a great deity that Jupiter is in the history. Because what is Jupiter? The biggest planet, right? And Jupiter in Romans was top dog of all the gods. So Jupiter is the biggest planet. It's not bigger than the sun, and it's not powerful than the sun, but it's the top dog. It's the biggest kid on the block. You get that? Jupiter. But if it was not for Jupiter, when the asteroid belt occurred, or when the asteroid belt now does a little shifting and changing, thank God, more times than not, the electromagnetic pull attraction of Jupiter is so great that it tends to pull the asteroids that way instead of towards us, which is a super good thing. Super good thing. Because it helps minimize the amount of asteroids that go whizzing by us. But I digress. What is the asteroid belt? Anybody? Anybody? Did anybody find Bueller? Was it Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Dankeschön, oh my darling, Dankeschön, how you wore that dress, what a mess, I digress. No one answered? I'm sorry, I don't know how to respond to you if you're still listening to me babbling on in Babylon, but I'm just saying, in an insane world, the asteroid belt is the remains. Disclaimer: the views and opinions stated by the voice that you are here are solely intended to help strive you forward in a monumental, miraculous opportunity of self-awareness in illuminating the miraculous fire within love without fear that you, niverse, is. So if you are hearing the voices now in the darkness, and they're not coming from between your ears, but beyond your ears and beyond the stars, then please be careful of what you are listening to, because you just might hear something that just might change your mind. Sorry. So the asteroid belt was the remains of a planet. What? Yes, I believe, I think. That's what it was. It was, I tell you. A planet that something horrifically, there's a disturbance in the force. A planet blew up. Kaboom! Why? 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 NeSe, why? Kevin, why? 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 Because somebody fucked up. Can you imagine you're having too much coffee that day, or you're having too much je sais pas quoi? You know, it's that equivalent to coffee. It gets you really stimulated. Je sais pas quoi. You know what I'm talking? Oh, that's right. None of you guys speak the language of that planet. Anyway, do your research. And so they're sitting there at their so-called console or desk or workstation, and he's all jacked up, or she or it or the entity is all stimulated, jacked up on je sais quoi, because they had a rough night last night, because their partner entity, they were discording, discussing, arguing, lovemaking, partaking, baking, making bacon and eggs or something that caused him to have the need or the desire or the want or the dream or the plan to have the usual joie in that moment of his attention is supposed to be extrapolating upon the duties. I said duty again. Oh, no, I said duties. That's multitudes of excrement is coming out of his head. And where is it coming from? The ether, the knowledge, the wisdom that this entity is having such a time at this moment when he accidentally pushes the button. Kaboom! The planet is now an asteroid belt. Scenario 1. Would you like another scenario? Scenario 2. Lord Vader, only you could be so bold. The princess said the rebel base is on a planet. What was her home world? Dang it, I'm trying to act like a Star Wars geek, and I'm not doing a good one. Not Tatooine. Oh my God, correct me, world. Forgive me, I have failed you. Please have pity on me. Please forgive me. Please have mercy upon my soul, my being, for being wrong at this moment, that I cannot think of what Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia home planet was called. Alderaan. Is that right? Did it come out of the ether? Go ahead and fire. And they showed them the overwhelming power of the Death Star, a planet destroyer. Science fiction is science future, science past. Our words never revealed unless you write his story books of reality. TV is the best source of history channeling in receiving the data, input, transmission complete. 0. That was a little binary joke for some of you. Here's one for the psychics. Right? So, a planet blew up. That's a perspective. Sorry, children. Accidents happen. That's why they're called accidents. So, how bad have we continue to do the stuff we do in our history? How far back do we go? At what perspective? Because when that planet went kaboom, go back and look at the stories, so-called myths, legends, and they talk about the gods, the Egyptian gods fighting. They talk about the Greek gods fighting, the Roman gods fighting. All have similarity in their fights, in their traits, and the Sumerians. And then you look at the planets, and you compare the planets with the comparison of the Roman gods, the Greek gods, the Egyptian gods, the Sumerian gods, the Native American gods, or spirits, semantics, the indigenous people of South America, of Africa, of Ireland, Scotland, the Druids, the birds, and see the Is that a horrible one? I apologize. Not super good with accents, but you should never apologize when you're on stage as a comedian or as a performer. I don't know who I heard that from, so that may be totally wrong, but I think you should apologize. If you feel the need to apologize, then say it. There's nothing wrong with the words "I'm sorry" coming out of your mouth, especially when you mean it. So, what happened to all of those souls? All those souls that were on that planet, all of those entities. If energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transferred. Where did it go? Are all of those souls out there still? Are they able to penetrate the electromagnetic fields that are around the Earth? Or do they penetrate? Or are they on another dimension? And are we able to open those portals? Because would you extend assistance to an entity in distress? Would you help an entity in distress? Most of you would say yes, right? That's the humane thing to do. And as you see that assistance coming towards you, or as you start going to assist that, arg! Get a bunch of these stone pots with some fire in it and throw in a bunch of dried out kale and seaweed and let it start smoking so the ship looks like it's on fire. And as the ships would come to help the pirates in distress, or as when ships come meeting each other with their false flags a-waving, raise the jack! Show the bones, show the skull and bones to your prey daily to manipulate the fields for the betterment of all entities, and always utilize your head and your heart, and don't always just go upon your own tuition. Ask. Especially when you're in a group. When you're in a group, it's always easier to protect yourself. Don't be a warrior, be a defender. So this planet blows up. All of these things go this way and that way and the other way. And the inner core gets jettisoned at a crazy elliptical orbit comparatively of all of the other planets, where if you would look at the two differences of the elliptis, you would see an X. So as that elliptic to the Earth is perpendicular, in contraction, how often does it come around? She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be riding 6 white horses. Nibiru, Planet X, Tiamat. Tia what? But anyway, sorry, off track again. Stay on course. Stay on target. Stay on target. So this planet blows up. Its core, its metal core, its iron core gets thrown out into a crazy orbit. Or did one of their other satellites, like our moon, did they have another of their own moon? And did it get thrown out in a crazy orbit? And there's still people living on it? The ice planet? Oh, I don't know. This is speculation, conjecture, theory. But something I think that you can find the references and you can find the proof to back up this following claim, that when this planet blew up, that it had a satellite called, for lack of a better term, K. And this planet, or planetoid, or the satellite of that planet called K, was hurtled towards the sun. When, oops, boom, boom, bang, bang, K collided with Earth. And when it hit the Earth, it stopped the perfection of Earth at that moment of the cycle, where the Earth was in its perfection of a perfect 360-degree spin, when the Earth was relatively an entire garden, a Garden of Eden. Maybe. So, when this K collided into the Earth, it created the Pacific Ocean. Go look at the Ring of Fire. It's a ring. It's a circle. An absolute beautiful spot for the moon to crash kaboom. And as the moon collided with the Earth and then slowly pulled away, the side of the moon that got severely damaged slowly turned towards the sun. Because in theory of magnet attraction and repulsion, that the greater mass of the moon would spin towards the closest mass. But then, in its incredible position, the moon is exactly between the electromagnetic attraction and repelling of the Earth and the sun, thus causing the wobble in the Earth and the greater transition of the cycle of Earth, which has caused the upheaval and the downfall of millions of civilizations in Earth's past, present, and future. Because when you do your research, when you do your research the things I share, because I'm crazy. I'm not normal. He's not right in the head. So check it out. One of my favorite things I've ever heard come out of Dick Gregory's mouth, and I don't know if it was from him or not, but I love it. It says, or he said, "My truth does not have to be validated by your ignorance." Damn! No, he did not. No, he did not. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Yes, I did. There's nothing wrong with being ignorant. I'm ignorant. I am ignorant. But let's define specifically what I'm ignorant at. I'm ignorant when it comes to using a bumper iron in an oven, that when you're using it on highly textured hair, that you want to make sure that the dryness of the hair is just right, so that when you utilize the bumper iron that you don't damage the hair. And when you're using something to structure the hair, that it's of a higher caliber, so it also does not damage or burn the hair as you're using the bumper irons, especially if they're the swivel handle type. But I don't know a lot about that. But I'm ignorant in some stuff, just as you are in some stuff too. Not one person has all the answer except me. Yuck, yuck. Ego away, ego away, ego away, ego away, go. So when is that planetoid, that center core, going to come back? Question 1. And how close is it going to be to us? Question 2. And what will the repercussions after it goes by be? Question 3. Expansion of the last question. The pull and repulsion that it will cause on the asteroid belt, causing a major flux of shift of hundreds, thousands, millions of asteroids in the asteroid belt to have a whole big billiard game of bouncing off each other and thus pulling them towards the sun and thus causing them to possibly cause a little disturbance in our force? Maybe. But no, dare say I. What has been going on? What is the distraction? What is the action? What are they doing to us, to US? Today we got that message from Trump. Last week it was Judge, not yet ye be judged. The week before there was, what did he tweet? The week before that, some musician died. The week before that, some new release on iTunes. The week before that, a brand new video game came out. A week before that, your favorite band was in town. A week before that, 2-for-1s at the local bar. A week before that, I wasn't feeling really good. I got that cold. I should have got the vaccinations. No, you shouldn't have. The week before that, are we being distracted? Intentionally? What's up, universe? I know that you know that we know what is right and what is wrong. And in the semantics of it, we already declared earlier, right, positive, right, love, manipulation of the fields. So if we all can focus on what's right, if we all can focus on the positive, if we can all can focus on the love, if we can come together to condense the focus. Because 1 gig of data costs less than 50 cents. The technological advancement of decompressing information and then compressing information, making it bigger, making it smaller, as above, so below, concentrating it. Would you like to make this a zip file and open it up later? Surprise! Look what you got. Open the box. Open the box. Whose box? Should we open that box? Technologically, it should be a good decision to continue moving forward in a technological aspect. But however, as we continue down this path of darkness, this path of evil, this path of negativity, and whose actions fall within that path, who is adding to the darkness, to the negativity, to the wrong? Is it you? Is it me? Do you see what I see? Not with your oogly googlies, because they're lying to you. Especially if you're staring down at falseness, that phone. You're staring at that phone. That phone is nothing but a bunch of zeros and ones. A digital, incredible, miraculous, technological advancement. But what is it doing to you? What do you do? Do you stare at those zeros and ones all day? Or do you lift your head up and look around at reality, at nature? Because at any moment, somebody could be jacked up on that beautiful, freshly made, freshly ground lightly is ultimate perfection. There is no other universe. And in that ultimate uniqueness, individuality, as above, so below, we are universe, and I are one. Neo, are you the one? Am I the one? I think so. I believe so. I believe so. That universe is the only one we have at this moment. So what are we going to do now? What are you going to do? I know what I want to do. I know what I need to do. I know what I desire to do. And may I find the strength to continue to desire my needs over my wants. And I want you to be happy, to be in bliss, to be in joy, to find the giggles, to find the love, to find the positiveness, to have a righteous path. Don't worry about if you're a righteous person. Have a righteous past, present, and future. Because I believe in universe. Do you believe in me? So have I babbled on and babbled on long and long and long enough? Because as we keep spinning here on Mother Earth, the revolution is already happening. It's all in the spin of Aki as she keeps spinning around. So thank you for being here on Mother Earth with me. I love ya. So remember, when you open up all of the portals, when you open up the doorways, when you open up the windows, things can go in and things can go out. So take a moment to be prepared before you.
Edward. Hey, do you know why I laugh? I'll tell you.
Tootles, ape gish bima deziwe wien. Until we meet again, fare thee well.